Welcome back to RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2019, brought to you by Chemical Warfare. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest, what a year he had. It's our good friend Luke Sandoe. Welcome back to the show.
Hey Dave, just to be on this particular show with the title Olympia in it is crazy to me. So yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, I remember when I think was it not this year? I think it was the year before this. We had interviewed and you had said we were doing the Arnold Classic because Ed Connor suggested you do it. It was I think that was your pro debut. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
It was 2016.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago. And
was it 2017?
Oh, okay. I mean, you haven't been doing this that long, and I said that was some show to pick as your pro debut, and you're like, well, Ed thinks I have the muscle. I said, well, you're definitely big enough, and you came back 1 year later after that Arnold, and you brought the conditioning that we all knew, we were waiting to see, and you placed third behind, William Bonac and Brandon Curry, and people started talking about Luke Sandoe. How did that change your life when all of a sudden people, maybe didn't take you seriously, and now all of a sudden everyone is talking about you as a part of the conversation, so to speak?
Well, it was a plan that Chris and I knew it was a good plan if we could pull it off. But if we didn't, it would be a disaster. So we basically thought if this works, we can make that big splash to the biggest audience possible outside the Olympia, rather than kind of pick up a little bit of not attention, but the momentum from the smaller shows. Yeah, we just thought, fuck that, let's go to the Arnold and let's show everyone what we can do. And Chris was just like, yeah, all right. So paid off, and I mean it's very surreal. I mean, even just talking about it now is quite emotional. It's insane.
Now, I was wondering, I said to Chris, I said, why is Luke doing all these shows? And then I realized you're trying to qualify for the Olympia. Is it true that you didn't realize you weren't qualified, and that's why you jumped in Tampa at the last minute?
Kind of. So I was going to do another shows much earlier in the year, maybe one or two. And then everyone was like, oh, you've got 16 points. That's more than enough. Look at the last 3 years. Somebody qualified on 14 points last year. No, everyone was like, you're good. You don't need to compete again. I was like, you sure? And they're like, yeah, mathematically, you're in. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to do the maths because you've obviously already done it. And they hadn't. And it turned out that it was a possibility that I would need to jump into another show just to solidify the qualification. So it's not like I didn't know. It just kind of came out of nowhere that I had to change plans a little bit.
Yeah. Now, when you find out, you say, "Okay, I got to do Tampa. It's the last show of the qualifying year," and you realize that you got to go against Dexter Jackson of all people.
I know.
It must have been a daunting task. Here I got to go against Dexter. Oh my God.
It would have been, but I just knew that I needed top 3, and I thought I could do that.
Yeah.
But the problem was I knew I wasn't going to be 100%. I'd be pretty good, but I knew I wouldn't be 100%. And I was like, Chris, we need to be fucking dry. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, no, fucking dry. Yeah. And I ended up kind of pushing us to the point where I just came in really flat. So now I'm actually very glad I did do Tampa, because now I won't make any of those mistakes for the Olympia.
Right. You saw how far is too far, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I think you look great at the show. Don't get me wrong. You in your mind think you were flat. I didn't think you were so flat. You look pretty damn good to me.
I was. It's only obvious. I think Chris and I know I was, because if we look back at the pictures 3 days before, the condition was exactly the same, and I was just double the size.
Right.
But it was me, and Chris afterwards was like, he just put his hands up as if to say, I fucking told you. And then so I'm just like, all right, okay, you do your job, and I'll just won't say anything.
Yeah, and you got to feel good about yourself almost beating Dexter Jackson. I mean, that's got to be a nice validation for you.
Even just having, that was another what the fuck is going on moment. The first one of the year was just getting first call out in the Arnold, and then I had a call out just with Cedric, which was crazy.
Yeah.
And then, so we were all backstage. I made the first call out. I was like, oh, this is good. This is a good sign. We were all sent backstage. Obviously, they did the call outs, and then they did everyone in the first call out except Dexter and I. And that's when I was a bit like, what the fuck's going on? And someone said, "Oh, you need to wait here because you're going up with Dexter." And that was when part of my brain just went. And
when you get called out alone with Dexter as the last call out, you're top 2.
Yeah.
How do you control your enthusiasm at that point? You know.
I thought, well, it was a very nice feeling because that day was actually my birthday, so I was like, "This is
oh my
fucking
god,
good."
that's even better.
So it was like a really nice like birthday present to myself, I guess. But it was it's hard to describe because I was stood there with Dexter Jackson. I was like, "Mr Olympia, there." So yeah, I mean, it was amazing. He had some very kind words to say to me afterwards, and he's just a great guy. And I mean, the decision was fair.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it didn't matter for you. So you qualified for the Olympia, and you wind up bumping Cedric out of the qualification, and luckily, you know, they gave Cedric a special invite. But
yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so that everyone gets to compete. So
everyone's happy. Yeah, good.
Now, you know, now the plan is go into the Olympia and make an impression. Obviously, you know, you'd love a top 5 placing.
Yes.
When you place behind Bonac and you place behind Curry and Dexter, you got to say to yourself, well, there's only Rulli left, and now, you know, the 5th spot's kind of open at this point.
And I have beaten Rulli this year.
Yeah,
I beat him at the
that's
Arnold,
true. But he was an out-of-shape Rulli Winkley you beat.
Yeah, but have we ever seen him really in shape, Rulli? Like,
that's true. That's true.
So, I mean, I think Rulli's so inconsistent, you just don't know what you're going to get.
But is that surreal, though? Do you think, you know, I got a shot at top 5 Olympia?
I'm trying not to think about it too much, so otherwise I'll just sit there and start freaking out. But you know, I mean, that's the goal. I mean, to a lot of people saying that's very unrealistic and it sounds very cocky. I'm just going on the guys I have beaten this year when I've actually come in a good place. And Chris is adamant that he's like, you'll be way better at the Olympics. He's got this like, it's all up here, and he won't tell me what it is.
Yeah.
But he's, I think. We do, based on the fact that it's the Olympia, that it's a big man show. So I know he wants to bring, obviously, the condition better than Tampa, so kind of like the same as the Arnold, if not better, but a lot fuller, which is exciting to me.
Right, but you know what? You're already one of the biggest guys up there already, so it's not like you got to worry about you're not going to be big enough, you know?
No, not at all. It's just when I'm flat, my weaker body parts look shitter than they actually are. So like my chest and like my quads as well, they just kind of just deflate.
Sure.
It's like they're there, and then they just go, ugh.
Now, you got to be a little nervous because in Vegas, it's very easy to dehydrate there, and the guys notoriously go flat in Vegas because of that.
I'm not in the hotel. I'm staying in the hotel with the air conditioning and plenty of water.
You know what? You can't escape that dryness, though. Even the hotels are there.
Well, I'm flying out a week early, 8 days early.
Oh, you are? So okay, all right.
I hope that should be enough time.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be worse than Tampa. I mean, it was so, like, you just walk outside and I'd just be like...
Yeah, but Tampa's humid. You don't really dehydrate in Tampa because of the humidity.
No, really? I think the humidity is way worse. You just step outside and you instantly lose all of your, like, fluid just for your T-shirt in about 4 seconds.
You're absolutely right. But the problem is you don't even know you're dehydrating in Vegas. You think you're fine because you don't feel the water running down. It just evaporates off your body.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but the thing is, because Chris is going to be there a week out, he knows this. So he knows to watch out for it. So he's going to make sure I don't die.
Does he have you staying in the Platinum Hotel where he usually does?
Oh, yeah, he's like, you got to stay in the Platinum. So I stayed in the Platinum. We booked it, and I think we got the last room because it was a really awkward booking. We had to do one reservation up till Thursday, and then a separate reservation for a different room.
Oh my god!
But we managed to get the same room from Thursday to Monday.
It's a great hotel because you get these. They're like enormous apartment space, so you don't even know what to do with yourself.
I saw the floor plan of ours. I was like, that's pretty much bigger than my house. So
yeah, I'm sure it is. We rented a huge suite there one year. We didn't have press passes for the Olympia, so we did like a play-by-play of the Olympia, watching it on the TV. We were like, it was like my house we were in. It was crazy. We had like 4 rooms in there. It was nuts.
Yeah, I think that takes the stress out of it because there's a lot of space.
Yeah.
I'm in the exact same hotel as Chris, and there's a kitchen. So that whole thing is just, that always like gets to me when I'm traveling. I'm like, is there a kitchen? Is it there? What's the lighting like? Is there any mirrors?
Chris will probably be sleeping on your couch most of the time. He likes to do that, you know.
He was doing that. Well, the Arnold and this, he comes. Well, for especially Tampa. On the day of the show, he came on the hour every hour from 4 a.m.
Yeah, and he doesn't sleep when he's there. It's amazing. He's like an old time
and he just kind of walks in like a zombie, looks at me, says some like gobbledygook, and then goes, stand over there, do your crunch shot, and then he just disappears. And he doesn't even say goodbye. He just disappears.
Yeah.
Out later, and he just walks in, does it all again.
Yeah, he loves doing that. It's like
I know, he's so good. I mean, he does really go above and beyond for everyone he helps. You know, I don't know how
what's going on with the UK bodybuilding scene over there? You guys are very competitive over there, huh? I noticed.
We are.
Wasn't there like a whole little controversy before the British Grand Prix because everyone wanted you to do it, and then you wound up just giving out the trophy there?
Oh, well, I mean, what happened was Nathan called me out in the press conference, said I shit my pants. So I just thought, I didn't shit my pants, mate. So I gave him his first place trophy and made him look like a child on stage. And everyone was talking about that specific picture more than his victory.
Yeah.
And now I'm officially qualified for the Olympia. He's piped down a little bit. So.
Well, then he got beat by Hadi Chupin in Vancouver. That probably knocked him down a few notches too.
Yeah, and it was quite a convincing defeat as well. And then he wasn't happy about that. He started I think he didn't take that loss.
No, he didn't take that loss very well at all. Did you purposely sit out that British Grand Prix, or did you just not think about it?
No, it was one of those things. It was like it was a little bit too late to be early enough. So I mean, I wanted a rest after the Arnold, and I wouldn't have been able to have that had I done the British Grand Prix. But if I knew I had to do Tampa, at least I could have 4 or 5 weeks rest and then start again. So it was just a shit time of year, really.
Now, with all the shows you've done, I mean, it seems like you've never stopped dieting, pretty much.
Oh no, I had a good 8 weeks completely off after the Arnold.
Yeah, that's nothing though. Come on, Luke.
No, I did not. I almost did nothing. I just ate pizza for
I know, but you got the Arnold. You did what else did you do? You did
and then I did Australia,
Indianapolis, right?
Yeah, and they were Australia and Indiana, and they were all within 3 weeks of each other. So they were all just
but that's very taxing. Then you went and did Tampa, and now you got the Olympia. So. How you feel fresh? I mean, because a lot of times guys get burnt out.
I feel extremely fresh, and everything Chris is doing with me, I'm still responding very well, and I'm still nothing's difficult yet. You're still.
That's because you're young.
I'm still eating a good amount of food. I haven't felt like shit yet. So everything feels good, and I'm still mentally really positive. And a lot of the time, in the past, I would have just been so burnt out. And I'm probably more motivated now than I was.
Right.
So I feel great. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck. As obviously here at RXMuscle, we love you, and we want to hope you get into that top 5 because I know you've worked very hard for it, and you've come a long way in the last 2 years, and it's a cool journey to be witness to because you're one of the guys that no one was talking about, and now everyone's talking about you. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much, Dave. I really appreciate you having me on again. It's
all right.
So thank you.
And guys, that is going to take us to the end of another episode of RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2019, brought to you by Chemical Warfare. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.
Lovely.